So today I'm making chili the way my sister taught me how to do it when our kids were little. Our husbands were obsessed with chili cook-offs, both entering them and getting the recipes from the winning entries. They didn't win. We had to eat many various concoctions of chili over the years, including venison, steak, no beans, 15 bean, and even one with cinnamon, which caused one of the children to immediately vomit everywhere. So we decided that was not a good recipe. So Michelle and I stuck to the tried and true family favorite, and I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. So I've halved an onion here, and I took off the top. I left the root so we can have something to keep the onion together, otherwise it'll just completely fall apart. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make a couple of slices through here, because I would like to have a diced onion, because I want the bite sizes to be consistent with the bite size of the hamburger that we're gonna have in our chili. So I'm gonna go down like this. I'm wearing gloves because I don't like onion on my skin. I have really dry skin, and onion tends to burn it. And I'm gonna do my little claw here, and we're just gonna slice. I have a very sharp knife. I've shown you in another video how to sharpen your knife. And one of these days I'll do an electric knife sharpener. Show you how to do that fairly easily. All right, so we've got pretty uniform dices here. I'm gonna go ahead and, since it's my chili, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of slice the rest of this up. Not too worried about getting that even, because it's just gonna be me and I like onions, but if I do end up sharing this with somebody, I would like these to be even, so they can also enjoy the chili with bite-sized pieces of onion. Okay, so I'm gonna cut for a second here, and I'm going to heat up my pan and get some oil in it before I start putting the onions in there, to kind of sweat down a little bit and make them transparent. We've done that before on another video. So let me go ahead and get this started, and I'll be right back. Okay, so where we're at is I have heated this pan up to where it was hot enough for the water to skitter across, like I showed you in a previous video that my mom showed me. Water skitters across. It means it's time to cut the heat down and go ahead and add the oil. Well, I added about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, just regular olive oil. I don't use extra virgin olive oil for the cooking part because it's expensive. So Michael Simon taught me to use pure olive oil for this step here, okay? We're just gonna saute these onions on low or medium low, and we're looking for them to get translucent. Again, we talked about that in another video, where you can get to where you can see through them, and you know that they're not crunchy, anymore. And also, another step that I actually forgot to do is a lot of people rinse their onions first, so that they get the oniony smell and flavor, kind of that stark oniony flavor, and kind of rinses that off. I don't really do that very much, and I also forgot to do that in case I wanted to show you, but right now I've just got it on low. I'm going to saute these for a little bit, and when they're ready, I'm gonna throw in my burger, and we'll talk about the burger when I come back. Okay, so we're back, and I've got my gloves on again. The onions are ready. They're translucent. They smell just fabulous. They're not burnt or anything like that. And so now I'm gonna show you what I normally do. This is a pound exactly of meat. I use a Taylor kitchen scale. This thing is so sensitive. I know as long as my batteries are fresh, and I know that as long as I don't have anything else touching it, just what I'm weighing, it's going to be precise. So I highly recommend the Taylor kitchen food scale. It goes down to grams, milliliters. It just goes as small as you need it to go. I do this, I use this scale all the time when I do my sourdough bread baking, because everything is in grams and everything is very important to get exactly right when you're making your sourdough bread. So this is my go-to scale. So now I have my gloves back on. I'm not real excited about touching raw meat. I don't know about you, but I don't like it. So I've got my 1 pound of 80/20, all right, ground beef. Throwing that right in there with those onions. We're going to stir it around here in a second. But I am just kind of shredding it with my little fingers. And then I'm going to take my gloves off. I don't want to handle my spoon with the raw meat gloves. So we're going to just kind of peel it back and ball that up. And now it's ready to go in the trash, and we're throwing the whole thing away. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I don't have my gloves on anymore because I didn't want to touch my spoon with gloves that have touched raw meat. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep breaking this up. I'm integrating it with those onions. And as you can see, we still have kind of a medium-low sizzle going on here. I'm just going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to mess with the heat. This is perfect. My burger is already starting to brown. My onions are beautiful. Nobody's getting burn marks on them. They're just looking absolutely delicious. And now, step 1, after we put this in and we mix it together, salt and pepper every addition in your recipe. If not pepper, at least salt, okay? It's just a little bit. You don't need a bunch, just a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna salt that meat, and the reason why we're bringing out a little bit of flavor in the meat, but a little bit of flavor in the onions, and so also, you know, the salt helps bring out that moisture and everything, and so we're getting a lot more flavor now because we added salt. All right, so this is going to sit here, and it's going to wallow in its saltiness and oniony flavor. And we're going to let that just brown and relax, and we're not going to mess with it for a few minutes. And there's something else that you might notice. Every time we come back, things have moved. I clean as I go. You don't have to. It's just, that's what I do. I can't handle having things out of place, especially while I'm cooking. I need all my cooktop space open and available, and also I want things cleaned up. I have a really cool kitchen island that my husband bought me for Christmas, and it has a trash drawer right here, right in front of me. So I have a paper towel rack on it. My regular towels can hang on it, and I have a trash drawer, and I also have extra cloths in the drawer here. So I've got everything I need right in front of me to keep my work area clean, and I hope that you will clean along with me every time we take a break. Just kind of clean up your space, and you'll thank yourself. You really will. You think it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. It really helps save a lot of work later. Okay, so I'm gonna, again, let this cook. My meat needs to brown, and we got a long way to go. We're making chili. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, welcome back. We are at the stage of where we're going to start making our chili, finally. So I've taken the meat and onions off the stove. I drained them in the sink in a big colander, and those are sitting over there draining. They're completely cooked. Everything's ready to go. They were salt and peppered while we had them out here. You saw that. So first thing I'm going to do here is I've got my big pot. It's not on, okay? I want to start with a cold pot. And I have a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. So let's go ahead and toss that in there. I want to scrape out every last bit of goodness here. I may end up using this can for water later, depending on how thick my chili gets. If I need to add some water, I'll use this can because it still has tomato sauce in it. I want to swirl it around and get the very last bit of it. So I'll set that aside for now. Okay, next thing, this is what my sister taught me, okay? And nobody really does this. This is baked beans. These are just original baked beans. They're bushes, but when we did it, we couldn't afford bushes, so we used Vandicam, which is tastes completely different. It almost tastes like Chef Boyardee baked beans, but they're delicious in this recipe, okay? And so are bushes. So I've got my Bush's baked beans. This is just a regular old 16-ounce can. All right, we're putting that aside. Now next, I have red kidney beans, and what I'm going to do is tell you about one of the most important steps. Okay, one of the most important steps is you need to rinse and drain these, or drain and rinse these beans. And the reason why is because it significantly reduces their sodium content. I know we added salt, but the salt that you add, you control. Okay, salt that's in here, you don't control, and the manufacturer does, and that's not what you want for your body, okay? So especially, we are cooks of a certain age, we don't need a lot of sodium that manufacturers are trying to shove down our throats. We don't need it, okay? A lot of us have high blood pressure, a lot of us have arthritis. We just don't want more salt than our body needs. Okay, so I've got 2 cans. Both of these are 15.5-ounce cans of kidney beans, dark red kidney beans. Doesn't matter what the brand is. I use whatever brand I grab off of the shelf. I've got a can of light brown beans, so these can be pinto beans. These happen to be cannellini beans because that's what I had. So again, rinsed and drained, okay? Now, the sodium content is reduced because we rinsed and drained, but rinsing and draining also helps wash away some of the components that can cause flatulence, which we all hate, correct? Okay, so when you drain and rinse canned beans, I'm gonna give you a little lesson here. You're primarily washing away oligosaccharides, especially something called raffinose, R-A-F-F-I-N-O-S-E. These are non-digestible carbohydrates that our bodies can't break down. Instead, the bacteria in your gut ferment them, which produces gas and can cause flatulence. So draining and rinsing also helps reduce the overall fiber content. However, that can also contribute to gas if you're not used to a high fiber diet. So you just rinse and drain, rinse and drain. It's better for your overall health at our age, okay? Cooks of a certain age, that's us. All right, now I've got lastly, a can of black beans. So as you see, we had 3 cans of beans, different kinds of beans, black, red, and white, and 1 can of tomato sauce, 1 can of pork and beans, and this is gonna be just absolutely fabulous. So now I will clean up. And I'm gonna go ahead and let this start simmering because I need to see where the flavors are at. Because if we do wanna add some salt, we wanna add it, you know, at the beginning so that we can kind of taste it and see where it's going. We just want a little bit. We don't want to add so much that we have to throw the whole thing out. So we just want a little bit. So I'm gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna give it a taste, add a little bit of salt, come back and see where we're at with that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put us on a medium high. Just gonna let my girl sit there and let me put a lid on her to keep the heat in, all right? And I'll see you in a few minutes and we'll keep going. Okay, so we're back to our bean pot. And as you'll notice, I've changed out my wooden spoon for this nylon paddle. The reason why is because wooden spoons will stain for the rest of their life if you put them in a tomato-based sauce. All right, so be careful where you put your wooden spoons. I mean, they are absolutely fabulous for almost everything else, but in a tomato-based sauce, they're going to turn red and it's gonna be hard to get it off. So this works just as well, this blue, nylon paddle. And also another thing about tomato-based sauces, somebody asked me, how do you decide which vessel to use when you're cooking and which pot? Now, I could use my big cast iron pot that is just awesome for bean soup. However, this tomato base in here is so acidic, it will eat the finishing and the seasoning off my cast iron. So I only use these stainless steel pots for tomato-based sauces. Okay, so now my meat has drained, and you can see I've got my meat, my onions, and here they go. Right on in there. It's gonna change the flavor a little bit because obviously we're adding meat. The meat has been salted. I checked the beans. I'm not salting them again. I think that this meat is going to add its own saltiness and its own flavor profile to these beans. And I'm going to give it a little taste. Always taste as you go, and don't stick a dirty spoon back in your pot. I think we all learned that during COVID, didn't we? Use a clean spoon when you taste something. Okay, so I am going to add a little bit of water. Remember, I told you I would put water in this tomato sauce can so that I can get the rest of the tomato sauce out of here. Just going to add a little bit, about a half a can. Stir this around. The reason I'm doing this is I'm making it a little bit looser so that I can simmer it longer. I don't want it to be really, really thick right off the bat, or it's just gonna turn to a big block of nothing. And I want the flavors to come through, so I need this to cook for a little while longer. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and put that whole thing in. I'm gonna simmer it. As we simmer, flavors develop and the water cooks down, creating a thicker sauce and a thicker gravy. All right. And as that happens, because we watered it down a little bit, we're gonna end up needing salt at some stage. So let me taste it. Okay, right now, we're just gonna languish and we're gonna simmer. All right, I'm at a medium low. Just gonna leave that there for a couple hours and we'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna check it when I come back and I'll see if it needs anything else. And by anything else, I mean spices, all right? we have yet to put chili spice in here or any kind of seasonings. I want to put the tomato sauce that I made. And if you'll remember, we did a video not too long ago about how to make a homemade tomato sauce out of cherry tomatoes. And this stuff is just fantastic. And it has garlic already in it, salt and pepper already in it, has vegetable stock, has your tomatoes, so it has a lot of flavor. And in a little bit, as this cooks down, I want to add some of this, and I also want to add some chili powder. So then we'll be almost finished with our chili by that time. So it takes a couple of hours. I mean, you know, good things come to those who wait. All right, so we'll be back in a couple of hours. I've got this cocked a little bit so the steam can escape and this can get thicker and simmer down a little bit, and we'll be back in a little while. See you soon. Okay, so while you were gone, I put 2 tablespoons of dark chili powder, which is my preferred flavoring for chili, and I just spread it right across the top of the chili and then let it sit there. I didn't stir it in, I just let it sit on top, and what that's called is I let it bloom, which means I let the steam and the chili powder kind of integrate. And then I came back after about 5 minutes and stirred it all in together, and now, well, I can really smell the chili now, and I can also smell a little bit of spice. And to tell you the truth, I like a little bit more on mine. Now this is up to you totally, but also the one thing that I told you I wanted to do was to take the tomato sauce that we made the other day with the cherry tomatoes, the garlic, and what else did we put in here? Vegetable stock, and we're just gonna dump that in there. That's gonna give me garlic, tomatoes, and the salt and pepper that I chose not to put. That is so delicious. I chose not to put any more salt and pepper, remember, in my chili, because I knew that all these other flavors would be adding to it. So I've got chili powder, I've got garlic, I've got tomatoes, the fresh tomato sauce that we made the other day, and salt and pepper. And if you want to, chopped green chilies, I'm not going to do it right now, but my preference right now is to just let this sit and simmer. It's good to eat right now, to tell you the truth. It's absolutely delicious. It's perfect. I'm gonna just let it stay on low. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I want the flavors to get a little more deep. And also, I want to finish this bad boy. I'm making cornbread, and I wanted to talk to you about the cornbread. I've got just a couple more minutes on that. I use Pamela's. I got it on sale, which is even better. But I have been gluten intolerant for, since probably around 1984. And so many years, for many years, I couldn't eat any wheat products at all. And so I came across Pamela's, probably end of the 90s, around 1999 or so. And I've been using their products ever since. And my intolerance has lessened a little bit. I can tolerate some gluten these days, but not really like you guys can. I can't just sit down and eat cookies and muffins and stuff like that without having any consequences. And what used to happen to me is if I did have any gluten, I was sure to go to the hospital at least once a month, and I broke out in hives every week. So this went on for years and years until we figured out what it was. So Pamela's, I highly recommend. if you're gluten-free, if you're gluten sensitive, any of that stuff, this stuff is delicious. You don't even have to be gluten sensitive, just eat it, try it. It's delicious, and tell them you heard it from me, and they'll say thank you. Okay, and that's it for the night. I'm waiting on my cornbread. She's just got a few more minutes, and she's gonna get real brown on top. But otherwise, like I said, this is on low. I'm leaving it. I'm developing more flavor. It's totally up to you. You can eat it now. You can put it in a container and put it in the freezer and eat it on another day. Whatever you like to do. Okay. I just hope you enjoy it. This is the chili that my sister taught me how to make years and years ago, probably in the early '90s, and I've been making it that way ever since. And I've had a lot of good reviews from friends and family, and say, wow, what's the recipe for this? And now you have it, so enjoy. And thanks for coming along with me on this little journey. Bye.